Well, just in case I say something weird, just.
That's right, just in case.
I'm going to talk today, for some of you don't know, I'm going to talk a little bit about frequencies. How to achieve frequency in your mediumship and your physical mediumship work. So I'm going to give you kind of an idea of how that works, so you can actually do it in your own space. So you don't really need a whole large group. You can do it in your own personal space through frequency. When you were born on this earth plane, you were born here with a frequency. Yours is different than anybody else's. And as you progress on this earth plane, you increase that frequency about what you do. So the frequency might not be as when you were born. If you're older now, frequency probably has changed. Because of things that you've brought into your life. But you are the frequency. You got to remember, communication is often associated with raising one's frequency. And typically in the range of 852 hertz or 963 hertz. The good thing about living today is all of this is on YouTube. You can find the hertz that you need and push a button and listen to it. It opens the pineal, it opens the hypothalamic, it opens up all the glands within your body by playing these certain hertz in your auric field. By just going on YouTube or going somewhere and getting them, you can listen to them. It opens the third eye, the pineal, the hypothalamus, it opens them. So by playing a different frequency in your space, I explain like this room, everything in this room, chairs, the rug, everything, takes on the frequency that we put into it. Every single time you walk in here, you leave frequency in this room to mix with the frequency that's in the room. So every time you come in this room, the frequency gets stronger. It gets stronger within this space. I would tell you, when I used to sing, not professionally, but I used to sing pretty well. But every time I would sing on platform, or do a large play, or do a large production, every time we came on stage to do that production, this energy got stronger. Every single time. So every time we did a play, or we did some kind of show, and put it on, things would get stronger. So you have to realize that white light is actually associated with divine white light. It's the white noise from your TV set, which like that static. It's the white noise. It's divine noise. But there's also pink. There's also pink light or pink noise, which is like water, wood sounds. Especially if you're going to be sitting in a space for a long period of time. The pink noise works really well. You just play like sounds of nature, water running, birds and different things. Because when you're sitting in a space for a while, and usually I always tell people when you're sitting for a seance, you're listening to manifest spirit. Should be 20 minutes. Half hour, 20 minutes, that should be it. Unless you start having something going, but usually about 20 minutes, something should be happening. If nothing's happening in 20 minutes, close it, come back the next time you come, do it again, until you start getting manifestations within the room. You know, most people back in the Victorian days wore white. White pants, white shirt, white shoes, they white. White was two things. It was the divine color to bring in the divine. But there was a method because of the white, because if you were sitting in a darkened room with other people, people could make out your outline because you were in white. So you didn't move around the room. They could see you. They could have a connection to your vibration. That's why a lot of people dressed in white, loose clothing, natural fabrics, different things had the vibration or the frequency to do that. So when you're sitting at home, sitting in your space, your personal space, play music long before you get in there. As I said, you have it on YouTube. You can just punch in the hertz that you want, place in the room, let it play for about at least a half hour before you even enter the space. When I do seances, I told him this morning, I do seances, I have a lot of recordings of the Gaithers. Bill and Gloria Gaither. They have a lot of religious music, old hymns, and I play them. Spirit loves old hymns. They love people singing the old hymns. So I play that in my seance room before I invite the people in to sit. So I kind of attract the energy. Old hymns or spiritual music to attract them. But you're in your own personal space, play some kind of music, play some kind of vibration. Because you have to remember, you are the one setting the energy. If you're putting the thing on in your own space, you're putting it on for you. So you have to set the energy for you. What is the energy you feel comfortable with? Especially if you're going to work on your mediumship. 852 hertz is new intuition, psychic senses. So 852. Find that hertz, 852. Start playing it. Even when you're sleeping, play it. It'll give you intuition. It'll open certain avenues of your vibration. Just by playing that music, just by placing that in motion for you. Because you made the intention to the spirit world that you'd like to open your third eye. So they apply. Once you make an effort, spirit doesn't just come and just move things and do things just because they personally want to show off. They do it because they want you to make an effort first. Then they come. But the effort has to be made. 999 is higher spiritual vibrations. So 999 brings in higher spiritual vibrations within your auric field. So find some of that if you want a higher vibration, higher senses of consciousness. Get that. And other ones support 1074 hertz. Spiritual experience. Takes you a little bit out of the body. Allows you having a spiritual experience. Play that one if you want that. 1152 if you have things going on in your health. Vibrations in your life. 1152. 1152 brings purification. Clears your vibration. Cleans the energy field. So those work very well. Remember, 852 has been cited for the core frequency for awakening intuition. 999 used to connect with higher spiritual vibrations and spiritual guides. 741 is used for expanding awareness, awakening intuition, and cleansing out negative energies. So if you're negative, good one to play in your vibration. Or if someone in your house is negative, just push the phone towards them and play it. But you're trying to get rid of that negative, especially in a room, especially a space. Playing 741 hertz clears the negative energy within the space. What I use in my space is I use a G-sharp tuning fork. And I just tap it and touch the space. That clears all the energy in the space. G-sharp tuning fork. But it's according to what vibration and what energy you want to use with that. 963 hertz is actually the God frequency. So if you want to talk to God, 963. Play that frequency in your vibration. 417 wipes out all negativity around you. It cleanses the energy of the whole room. So you've got 741, but 417 hertz wipes out all the vibration before you attempt to connect to your higher guides. Want to clear out all the negativity in the room. 417 does that. 853 awakens intuition. 783 is you let it create a grounding, calming atmosphere that is resonant with the Earth's magnetic heartbeat. So 7.83 heartbeat of the Earth. Well, the 111 is called the holy frequency. It's a holy frequency. Very spiritual vibration. We have to remember, as practitioners, as workers in this vibration, healers, whatever we do, we work at a frequency in our vibration. So we have to raise that. And I've told people before, when you enter this earth plane, you enter this vibration with a voice that you speak out. A lot of us will play games with spirit and try to talk to spirit through our subconscious. We'll say something inward. Never say it outward, inward. But it has to go through all your filters. By the time it gets out to the spirit world, spirit has no idea what you asked for. So when you have in your personal time, your personal space, speak out to spirit. Say something out loud. You know that everybody in the spirit world will stop and listen, that is assigned to you, that has a connection to you, will stop and hear the vibration of your voice, and they will stop and listen. They will listen to you. But you have to speak out to them. Speak. That's why in readings, we want you to say something to us. Just kind of make an effort that we're talking to you. It isn't a reason I could talk to you and give you a reading without having you say anything to me. But the reading, your voice connects me to your vibration. Connects me to it. So I have that connection by you saying something to me. That's why we asked. We cut you away from the herd too, so cut you away from everybody else, but we want to hear your voice. Say something to us. Say something to us. When I was over many years ago, I'm going back again, but when I was in England, people would say, I have an energy here. I want to explain it, and I'll see who does it. The medium knows exactly where they're going. What happens if I go back in this back room back here? I'm raising your energy because every one of you think you're going to get a reading. So you're sending me all this beautiful energy up here because you want me to come to you. But I already know who I'm going to. I'm just sucking up the energy. That's all. I know where I'm going to. I know who I need to speak to because Spirit has already stood behind you. They've already made it known you need to talk to them. So the question is when we raise our vibration, our frequency, we allow Spirit to pull closer. In our vibration, we allow them to pull closer. And that's for your own personal life. When you want health or you want something in your life, you have to raise the frequency to get yourself there. You can't pray here and you want to get to this frequency. You can't be here. You have to raise the frequency to get here. And that's through music. That's through playing music in the room. That's by doing things in the space to raise your vibration. And by playing all these hertz in your vibration, you get a chance to raise yours without having to do a lot. You make the intention to play the music. The music, in turn, will increase your frequency. And then Spirit will pull up close to you and give you the information. Some people I deal with are here, but they're trying to get here. But they don't want to make the effort to get here. They just want Spirit to come here. Spirit doesn't do that. They'll want you to make some kind of effort to get to them. Effort. I've been doing readings most of my life. I tell people I was standing on the stump when you could stand on the stump at Lilydale at 5 years old. I gave readings from the stump at 5 years old at Lilydale. So I know, can't get to the stump anymore. Not really a stump, it's a twig, but it's there. But back in the day, you used to stand on the stone. Used to be there. I've given readings at Camp Edna, all these other camps. I used to give readings when I was young. So I knew every place had its own frequency. Lilydale has its own frequency. This church has its own frequency. Casadega has its own frequency. Every spiritual center has its own frequency. So when you work from different places as a medium or as a practitioner, I have to center myself to be with the frequency that I'm coming into. I have to be there. You have relatives that some are full crazy, some are half crazy. But you have to adjust your energy field when you walk in. You have to adjust it. Because sometimes you have to play in that environment for a little while. It's your family, people, situations that you have come conjure. Even you're doing healing. Sometimes people come for healings and you go, ooh. So you have to raise your vibration to pull them along with you. Same thing with readings. Sometimes I have to pull your vibration along with me. It all comes down to CERT. Communication, evidence, reason, tell a story. Communicate with spirit. Give some kind of evidence, reason the spirit is here, and tell a story. To be a good medium, you have to be a good storyteller. You've got to take them on a journey. You can't lose them. You can't lose them halfway through the intercourse. You can't lose them halfway through the airport. You got to get them on the plane. Got to get them there. So you have to tell a story. You have to take them on a journey. When I teach classes and I teach people, I give them three things. I say, give me 3 words. 3 things I worry about. Don't worry about that. That's because you're giving me 3 words. You're trying to mess me up, though. You're trying to say, ooh, I'm going to find something that he's not going to be able to give a reading about. But it doesn't matter, because Spirit already has that planned. Because you're going to tell me exactly what you need. But if you said squirrel, bike, car, and I looked at you and said squirrel, I see a squirrel, saw a broken bike, there was a car parked over in the corner, God bless you. You're going to look at me and go, what is happening? What kind of reading is that? But if I tell you a story about the squirrel and the bike and the car, I take you on that journey. I take you on this whole journey of how to put that in motion. See, it's the journey, it's the frequency, the vibration. As I said, when we read the prayers, when we read the healing prayers here in the morning, we read the principles in this vibration. For well over 150 years, people have been reading those every Sunday morning, every week, for over 150 years. They've been reading spiritual stuff in the spiritual church. Reading it. So when you read it, you know there are people on the spirit side that sits there and they recite it with you. So even if there was just one person here, there are a multitude of individuals in the spirit world reciting those with you. So you have a multitude of energy, a multitude of frequency being propelled back towards you, towards your vibration. You don't want to go somewhere, if you're trying to be healthy, you don't want to go someplace where a whole bunch of people are sick. You don't want to go somewhere that people are not well, because you want to be well. You don't ask certain people for money, because they don't have money. Go where the money is. My mother used to say you don't want to marry or work for money, but it doesn't hurt to court where it is. Or go where it is. Go where your vibration takes you. But you have to listen. I can always explain that to people. You have to listen. Why that happens. Spirit was trying to listen to you. There was 2 years ago, we bought a house in Casadega. Before we bought the house, my wife and me walked by, and there's an older lady living in the house. And I could hear my guide going, that's your house. I said, no, there's a lady in there. She lived there, an older lady, she lived there. And I can hear my guy go, not for long. I said, you're gonna hurt her, are you? He said, no. So 2 days later, she had fallen, broken her leg, and had to go live with her daughter. And we bought the house. But I always had a thought in my head, did my guys push her? Did they give her a push to get me the house? Did they? And he'll just giggle. But you have that communication with Spirit. Spirit's done a lot of things, especially in seance rooms. When you raise the vibration, because some people really don't want to sit. If you go home today, you need to find yourself your special Shangri-La spot. Decorate it how you want to decorate it. Set the space up. Leave it alone. Don't keep changing it. Leave it alone. And sit for 8 weeks. Sit in that spot. Back in the day, people dressed in white, Victorian seance, dressed in white, came to the event. They would meet for 8 weeks to bring physical phenomena. In 8 weeks, it's not the presenter that could change the group. It was the group voting if somebody could enter the group. So it took 8 weeks to solidify the energy within the space. 8 weeks. So do an 8-week period. I've had trumpets float to the room. I've had people drop out of the ceiling. I've had all kinds of stuff. I've seen a lot. So the question is, but it was through a lot of events. My mother sat in trumpet seance for over 16 months before they got the trumpet to move. 16 months of concentration on that trumpet before they got it to move. So it takes time for Spirit to show themselves. They just don't appear just to appear. They appear to save you because you've done something stupid, but they just don't appear just to appear, just to make you happy. So they want you the effort to sit. It's a chain. If all of us join hands here in this room, we're going to commit, we're going to focus ourselves on a chain of energy. All of our frequencies are going to mix together. Some of our frequencies could be different. Not exactly the same as everybody else's, but once we sit in a group and we are sitting there for the purpose of connecting to Spirit, our frequencies will join together and make a stronger frequency. A stronger vibration for us to be part of. We have to realize that we have the power within us. We've always had the power, we just don't know we have it. Until we realize we have it, and then we can use it. Some of us are sick, and we shouldn't be sick. Some of us have things in our lives that we shouldn't have. But because we haven't believed that we had the power to change it. We have the power to change everything within our lives. If we just believe that we can do it. Believe that we can do it. Faith of a mustard seed. That's all we need. That little seed. But most of us don't have that connection. See, white is the traditional choice of divine white light. Black is for morning wear. But black is as the context is the war in a seance to contact a specific loved one. You're mourning. You want to connect to this one loved one. You wear black. And purple signifies spiritual power. It opens the intuition. So you wear purple a lot. You got purple intuition. Colors have a vibration. Colors are through flower readings, which are psychic. We do all kinds of different types of reading. I explain to people, you wore what you wore today. Not because it was the cleanest thing in the office. It's what you put on, what you felt your auric field was. As I look good today with this. It's my color is. Intuitively, you know what your color is. So you put on what you think would look best on you today. By what you wear, I can tell you about your life. Just about what you put on today. That's what you decided to wear today. But that's all psychic. Just by your energy field and what you put on today, I can give you a psychic reading and change your life. Just by what you put on. There are all these vibrations that have to, because you have entered the space. You've entered the space to receive a reading, to receive a healing. You've entered it. You brought your frequency. You brought your colors. It's what you wore today. You brought all that energy into the space. Well, I have to see it. I have to have some kind of connection to it. So you're either mediumistic first and psychic second, or psychic first and mediumistic second. But both have to fit into your idea what type of medium you're going to be. What frequency are you going to pull yourself at? I love it when I walk in certain friends' offices and they have every stone under the world in their office. It's like a mine exploded. They want to know why their office isn't as clean, as good as it is. They got hematite, they got citrine, they've got rose quartz, they've got amethyst. They've got stones that drop you, stones that raise you, and stones that spread you. So you walk in an office and you're just going, because everything in that office signifies different energies. So when you go home to your meditative space today, look in the space. Do you have a lot of scattered energy in there? A lot of scattered here. Don't have a bunch of voodoo dolls over in the corner and some kind of Jesus on the other corner of the wall and some kind of Mohammed on the other wall, and then you got a bunch of crazy stones going. Want that? Because you have to realize that everything in your personal space has some kind of connection to you. You want to raise your vibration? Do higher vibrations. Higher vibrations. You want spiritual light in your work field? Sit in a white chair. Sit in a white chair. Sit in a white chair. You want spiritual intuition in your life? Get yourself a purple chair. Sit in a purple chair. Put a purple cloth on it. Look at the colors that you're putting in motion in your life to what kind of frequency that you're trying to propel within your life. What kind of frequency are you propelling? But trust yourself. Because I want you to do it on your own. You don't have to. You can come to groups. Groups are great. Sit with a group. But when you're sitting on your own and you really need the information, set your space. So you can go to your space. Back in the day, it was, you want to listen to the vibration. Because Spirit has this whole vibration. In the Bible, it said, go to your personal space. Go. We must go into our personal space, to our inward space, our space, to hear Spirit. You know, every one of you have music playing in your vibration. Might not hear it, but you have music. Hopefully it's good music. Hopefully it's good stuff playing. Hopefully. But sometimes you got to listen for the music. Listen to what the music is playing. What do you hear in your house playing? I know sometimes when you guys get tired and you're exhausted, you hear stuff going on. Spirit's trying to get your attention. So listen. All you got to do is listen. And you should do quite well. But everything about this is learning how to raise your frequency. That's all mediumship is about. Raising your frequency and mediumship or healing. Raise your frequency. Once you raise your frequency, then you travel with them. Can't lower it because you can be outside the boat trying to scare away the alligators while the rest of your frequency is heading up the river. And most of you can't. I tell people once we get over 50, we're not made for off-road travel. I'm made for it. I want to thank you.